have been praying for years, and those of you who follow Ambassadors for Israel, and also the instructions found in the Torah, that we should all pray for the priests of Jerusalem. You know, when we get an answer to prayer, it's always exciting, and we always have to be appreciative and thank God for it. Recently in Washington, in just the last couple of days, there's been an agreement made between Lebanon, the government of Lebanon, and the government of Israel, which is unique in itself after so many years of Hezbollah having hijacked the government of Lebanon. The government today is being able to make their own agreement with Israel. So please watch this video, and I know you'll be excited about what they're telling us. What do we learn when we see the government of Lebanon and the government of Israel, of course with America also, sitting together talking about peace? We learn one thing, that the Lebanese people are not part of the problem. Hezbollah, which is totally a proxy of the state of Iran, is the enemy of Israel. Iran is the enemy of Israel. So most people don't understand that there's a lot of governments in the Middle East, because of Iran's power and their wealth, the governments are hijacked into becoming muted. They have no say, they have no part, because if they do go against Iran, they also will suffer. And so today we have an opportunity in history that we haven't seen ever since the war began in the late 70s, the early 80s in Lebanon. I happened to be living in Israel at that time, my wife and children, and I was invited to go into Lebanon during the early days of the Lebanese war there with Israel. And of course, it wasn't Lebanon, it was Hezbollah, the proxy of Iran. They had come into southern Lebanon and devastated the community there. Southern Lebanon was Christian, a lot of Christians. And in southern Lebanon, there was a radio program, a radio station, a Christian radio station that Hezbollah had blown up, or the PLO even at that time had blown up at that. And I was invited to go to that village. So the government, the military, Israel's IDF gave me a permission to go for a few hours. They dropped me off at the border fence. I went through, and I was supposed to wait there for a car to pick me up. I didn't know what kind of car, didn't know who. And when a car did show up, it's a little humorous now, 40 years later, but when car did show up and I got inside, I thought to myself, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know which side he's on. I don't know who told him to come. I don't know where he's taking me, but it's in God's hands. So we drove for a little bit, and it looked like we had been driving on the surface of the moon. It had been all bombed out. It was horrific for the people who had lived there. We got to the radio station. I went inside. We didn't stay long because I went inside, saw the devastation, saw actual flesh still on the walls, and that was enough for me. So I had the driver bring me back to Israel and drop me off. And again, it was the same setup. I just waited till somebody let me through the gate. But it's humorous when you're talking about it from so many years ago. But in the moment, I was a little bit horrified, to say the least. But what I'm excited about today is, anytime we get good news, we have to rejoice. Anytime God has answered our prayers, we have to rejoice. And to see the hope for the Lebanese people and the hope for the Israelis on the northern border of Israel and on the southern border of Lebanon, to have a hope that one day soon we will have peace and be able to live together in a coexistent way of peace. But let's talk about why this is happening. One of our main points of, am I too late, too long? Okay.